Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Cucamonga Valley Medical Group's Healthy Living webinar. My name is Sabrina, and I'm a community health educator. Welcome. Thanks for joining tonight. Tonight's webinar is interactive. I do have the chat function open and a Q&A, so please feel free to talk to me during the webinar, ask me any questions. You can also save your questions until the end. I did save some time for a little Q&A session. If you're joining on a phone, I always recommend to turn that phone sideways to view this in a widescreen view. Did you know that not getting enough sleep can make you more susceptible to getting sick? Yes. When you're not getting enough good sleep, your immune system goes down, making it hard for your body to fight off infections, which is going to make you more likely to get sick. And if a person is lacking sleep, then they're at a higher risk for developing certain diseases, such as type 2 diabetes, heart disease, stroke, and even an early death. And today, we know it is more important than ever to help our immune system so it can keep us protected and healthy. So to make sure you are staying healthy and getting the best sleep you can, you need to look at your sleep hygiene. We don't hear the word sleep hygiene often, but sleep hygiene is crucial to our health. Well, what exactly does sleep hygiene mean? Well, sleep hygiene is the lifestyle choices you make to ensure you are getting the best sleep you can. So if you want to learn the importance of sleep and how you can improve your sleep hygiene, then this webinar is for you. Tonight, we're going to be talking about how important is sleep and why, what is good sleep and how much should we be getting, and I'm going to give you 3 things that everybody can do to improve their sleep hygiene. Well, we go to sleep every night not thinking about or not knowing how important that sleep actually is for us. And sometimes if you're like me, you wish you didn't have to sleep as much to get more stuff done. Well, if we understood why sleep is important and to our health and to our quality of life, we would be more likely to appreciate and care for our sleep more. So why do we sleep? Go ahead and let me know in the chat. Give me a guess. Why do we sleep? Someone said to rest. Yes, of course, to rest. Well, a lot of things happen when we sleep, but the main reason why we really need sleep is to allow our body and our brain to restore, repair, and re-energize. I kind of like to think of them as the 3 R's. And even though to us, when we go to sleep, it's kind of like taking a little break, but our bodies are hard at work. They are healing, it's repairing, it's restoring, it's cleaning the body. And the brain even uses that time to repair as well, to store memories. And when during sleep is when the most healing occurs. So if you're lacking in sleep, then your body and your brain is going to be lacking in those 3 R's. It's going to be lacking in repairing, it's going to be lacking in restoring, and lacking in re-energizing. So, and this is going to have a huge impact and kind of a snowball effect on your health and your quality of life. So, and for example, there's a big connection between sleep and your mental health, right? And this is really noticeable. If you're not getting enough sleep, you tend to be more moody, more on edge, maybe more emotional. If you have kids, this is very noticeable in kids. I have kids, and if they skip a nap or if they go to bed too late, then they are kind of like different people. They their behavior is different. They're more on edge. So there's a big difference, really noticeable in kids. So not getting enough sleep is going to have a huge effect on your mental health. People who are not getting enough good sleep can start feeling symptoms of depression and even experience problems with memory and having trouble focusing. Being sleep deprived can also make you feel hungry. And to explain this better, Dr. Beckemeyer, one of Cucamonga Valley Medical Group's wonderful providers, she says that sleep deprivation raises your hunger hormones and lowers the hormone that makes you feel full. So you're feeling hungry more often and you're not being able to feel satisfied or kind of quench that hunger. So it's going to put you at risk for overeating and probably unwanted weight gain. So as Dr. Beckemeyer put it, sleep deprivation is more than just feeling tired. It affects every aspect of your health and your life, and it can put you at risk for disease and other medical conditions. And if you already have a chronic condition, then not getting enough sleep can actually make that condition worsen and put you at risk for complications. Therefore, sleep is crucial for our mental and physical health and our overall quality of life. So sleep is important. Well, what kind of sleep should we be aiming for? Well, good sleep is consistent and uninterrupted. And it's about getting the recommended amount of sleep. So we're talking quality and quantity. The amount of sleep you should be getting does depend on your age. Here is a chart from the National Sleep Foundation. And as you can see, adults, we're looking for that good 7 to 9 hours of good, consistent, uninterrupted sleep. That's going to be our goal. And it's important that our sleep is uninterrupted because you need to allow your body the time to go through all the different stages of sleep. And when your body can go through this process without being interrupted, it's going to be able to repair, restore, and re-energize at its best. So we're talking quality and quantity when it comes to our sleep. So now that we know that sleep is crucial for our health, we know what kind of sleep and how much sleep we should be getting, the next step is to look at your sleep hygiene. Remember, we said that sleep hygiene is the choices you make to ensure you are getting your best sleep. So some people can have good sleep hygiene and you can have poor sleep hygiene. What would you rate your sleep hygiene? Go ahead and let me know in the chat, good or poor. What would you say your sleep hygiene is? What are you doing to ensure that you are getting the best sleep you can? Someone said poor. Yes, of course, that's why we're here, right? Awesome. So remember that good sleep hygiene means engaging in behaviors that are going to promote consistent and uninterrupted sleep for the recommended amount of hours. Someone said good-ish. Yes, right? We're working on it. Well, if you feel like you are in need of better sleep, it may be time to consider your sleep hygiene. And it's also important to note that everyone's sleep hygiene might be different. We are all different, so what might work for somebody might not work for somebody else. Well, however, tonight I have 3 things that everybody can do to improve their sleep hygiene. So number 1 is to set a bedtime and stick to it. Remember when you were a kid and your parents gave you that strict bedtime? I had one, it was 8 o'clock. I had to be in bed by 8 o'clock. Well, now that you're an adult, you still need a bedtime, and it's very important because if you don't have a set time for bed, then you're going to be more likely to go to bed whenever you feel like it, whenever you want. And that's going to affect how much sleep you are getting. So set yourself a bedtime and stick to it every night, even on the weekends. And this is because you're going to allow your body to get it into a good routine. And when your body gets into a good routine, it's going to be able to know what to expect. And then it's going to be able to efficiently repair, restore, and re-energize. Because your body's like, hey, we know bedtime is coming. Let's start sending the signals. Let's start preparing. So by the time you lay in bed, your body is already prepared and ready to re-energize, restore, and repair. So, but if you're not in a good routine, then you're going to keep your body guessing. It's going to be out of whack. It's not going to know when to start preparing for sleep. So your body won't be able to repair, restore, or re-energize at its best. So set yourself a bedtime and stick to it. Remember to include the good 7 to 9 hours of those recommended times. So for example, if you have to wake up at 6 a.m., setting a bedtime at 10 p.m. would allow you to get those good 8 hours of sleep. And you want to make sure the trick here is to allow yourself some time to prepare for bed, like brushing your teeth, do whatever you need to do by your bedtime. So by your bedtime, you're in bed, you are ready to go. So set yourself a bedtime, stick to it. That way you allow your body to get a good routine, and this will make sure you're getting the most out of your sleep. Do you ever find yourself staring at the ceiling, wondering when you're going to fall asleep? Your brain's going, you're thinking, you can't fall asleep. Well, if you're having trouble falling asleep, this next tip is for you, which is to earn your sleep. Earn your sleep. And to earn your sleep is through physical activity. And that's because if you're being sedentary all day, then you're not allowing your body to get tired enough to easily fall asleep. So if you're not being physically active throughout the day, it's going to be harder to fall and stay asleep. So earn your sleep by being more physically active throughout your day, meaning just get your body moving. You could do things like housework and yard work. Those are great ways to just keep active throughout the day. If you are at a desk or on a computer for most of the time, then I would recommend to set a movement alarm for every 30 minutes. Every 30 minutes, get up, get that body moving, do some stretches, do some squats, march in place. Just get that body moving every 30 minutes. And the best way to earn your sleep is by regular exercise. So spending 30 minutes or more a day doing some type of exercise. You could do things like walking at a fast pace, bicycling, dancing, playing a sport, whatever it may be. And the best exercise to be doing is the one you like doing. So earn that sleep, pick something you enjoy doing, and get that body moving. I see we have a question, and the question says, how can I be more active with bad knees? Thank you for asking, Ashley. So that's a great question. Thank you for bringing that up. I would recommend chair exercises. I don't know if you're familiar with chair exercises, but that's a great low impact physical movement. I've done chair exercises and they're really effective. To get you started, I would recommend to Google that, Google chair exercises. There's a ton of free resources out there, some free videos just to get you started. Thank you for your question. So I know because of our current situation, many date nights have turned into ordering food and watching a movie, right? One of my friends, she always says late night Postmates with the hubby. And however, eating before bed will actually negatively affect your quality of sleep. And that's because your body has to take energy from the sleeping process and use that energy to digest the food you just ate. So the more food you eat before bed, the less of that healing and repairing and restoring is going to happen. And some research has even linked eating large meals before bed can help promote the aging process. And again, that's just because you're not allowing your body enough time to repair and get ready for the next day. So our third and final tip for tonight is going to be to avoid large meals and caffeine before bed because they're going to affect your quality and quantity of sleep. So it's recommended to stop eating 2 to 3 hours before your bedtime. So if your bedtime is 10 p.m., then to make sure your last meal is by 7 p.m. I like to use a guideline, which is to eat only if there is sunlight. So to eat only when there is sunlight is a good way to make sure you're not eating too late in the day or before bed. Who is guilty of having a cup of coffee too late in the day? I have done this, and it's one of the worst feelings, just laying in bed, too awake to fall asleep. So having caffeine, of course, is going to affect how much sleep you are getting before bed, which we learned if you're not getting enough sleep is going to have a huge negative impact on your health. So, and caffeine also has been shown to make it harder for your body to go through all the stages of sleep. So caffeine before bed is going to affect your quantity and quality of sleep. So avoid this and make sure to stop drinking any caffeinated beverage at least 6 hours before your bedtime. So again, let's say your bedtime is at 10 p.m., then you should stop having any caffeine at 4 p.m. So avoiding any caffeine after 4 p.m. is going to be a great way to make sure that you are getting all the sleep you need and getting the most from your sleep. So remember that sleep is crucial for your health and quality of life. So to start your sleep hygiene routine, pick a bedtime and stick to it. Remember to earn that sleep by getting physically active throughout the day, and try to avoid large meals and caffeine a couple hours before bed. And of course, if you have long-lasting or severe sleeping problems or issues, please talk to your healthcare provider. They are there ready to help as always. So let's go ahead and take this time to jump into our Q&A session. You can enter any questions you may have in the chat or in the Q&A. Someone said, I am too stressed to sleep. Help. Thank you for your question. That's a great question. And that's a very common experience, right? Some of us might have things going on in life. We're feeling so stressed before bed. Our mind is working. So my recommendation to that would be to relieve some of that stress before bed. So maybe doing things like a meditation before bed, a deep breathing exercises, playing relaxing sounds, taking a bath, a nice warm bath or shower. I would even recommend to YouTube some relaxing sounds, some guided meditation. Just want to allow yourself some time to relax and relieve some of that feeling of stress before bed. Thank you for your question. Any other questions? I am here. Any questions about sleep? I've even came across people who have trouble with sleep using things like a sleep diary. So kind of recording things throughout the day, recording your sleep, kind of maybe give you some more information on how to improve your sleep, what's affecting it. Someone said, what about a TV in the room? Is that okay? Thank you for your question, Mary. Yes, that is recommended, that you want to avoid the blue light on your screens before bed because it has shown to keep you awake. So a lot of the devices now, you can pick a nighttime setting. So if you're on your phone before bed or if you're on TV, it has a nighttime setting. But I would recommend to just avoid any screen time before bed. That way you're allowing your body to relax and kind of get into that sleeping mode before you lay down. Thank you for your question. And Elise asked the same question. Yes, that is a great point. Yeah, you want to at least stop using it. I would say an hour before bed would be good. An hour before bed, start getting into your relaxing routine. Start doing things before bed, like brushing and flossing. That way you're just allowing your body to get into that sleep mode. Is decaf tea before bed okay? Yes, if it doesn't have caffeine before bed, I would say that is okay, right? We want to avoid having caffeine before a couple hours before our bedtime. When or what time should you stop working out? Yes, so I have read that maybe working out too close before bed might get you a little too pumped up to go lay down and go to bed. So again, I would say maybe 2 to 3 hours before bed. But if you need to get that exercise in, you really need to get some physical movement in, I say go for that physical movement. That way you're going to burn some of that energy and you'll be able to get a more restful sleep. How soon before bed should you stop drinking alcohol? Yes, alcohol does affect the type of sleep. It is going to affect your quality of sleep. So you should be avoiding alcohol before bedtime. I would say the same, probably like a good 3 hours before bedtime, 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. That way you allow your body some time to kind of get that alcohol out of your system, drink some water, and that way you can start having a good night's rest without the effect of alcohol on your sleep cycle. Thank you everyone for all your great questions. Okay, so it looks like we don't have any more questions coming in. I would like to thank you all for participating tonight. I want to let you know that after this webinar ends, there's going to be a quick survey that's going to pop up. I would be really grateful and appreciate you just taking a quick second to fill that out. That way we can figure out some ways to better serve you. Next month, healthy living topic is going to be about your heart and how to keep your heart healthy. So that's one of my favorite topics to talk about. I love talking about keeping your heart healthy. So that should be a great one. And I hope all of you can make it. Again, our link to our website is in the chat. So feel free to check that out for more information on how to join. All right, you guys have a great, wonderful evening, and I will see you next month. Bye-bye.